It's 6 minutes after 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, this July the 6th, 2026, and I'm really glad to have you on board. This is Colatown, our city, our stories. Really glad you're hanging out with me and glad to have you after the 4th of July weekend, ready to get back into it here in our regular groove. And I have a couple of just rock stars with me to start off the program. I've known these two ladies for a while, and they are wonderful, wonderful people whom I love to talk to and have on the program. And they are with our Office of Business Opportunities, the OBO. Ayesha Driggers is here. Miss Kalenna Ginyard is here. Hi, team. How we doing?
Good morning.
I'm so happy that you guys are here and in studio. Usually I get you on the phone when we talk, but now I got you face to face to hang out with me and got my hugs in this morning. I'm happy to see you guys. All right, so first thing I want to do, even before we talk about the OBO, is I want to talk about Ayesha and Kalenna. I want to talk about you guys a little bit and give you a chance to tell how you got involved with the city and how you got to this point. So let's start with Ayesha and talk a little bit with you about your path to where you became the head honcho over at the OBO and just how you got here, how long you've been with the city and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I've been with the city a total of almost 14 years, and I'm from Columbia. So that's why I really love working with the city. I get to see my city grow and get to be a part of that impact that we're having on the city. I'm a graduate of AC Flora High School in Richland District 1 and USC, go Gamecocks. So I just love being a part of our beautiful city. It's just a great place to work and to raise a family, and I'm just very fortunate. The city's a great place to just enjoy all that Southern hospitality.
So 14 years with the city, and obviously you've made the climb to now leading the OBO and all of that. That's exciting. And again, I'm glad you mentioned that this is hometown because there is something special about seeing its growth and actually being a part and being able to give back a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I always say it's a team effort. So even though director is in my title, it really takes the entire OBO team for us to do what we do, which is help our small business community.
No doubt. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the OBO does and all that and give you a chance to explain the impact on small business. And I've told you this so many times. If I only knew when I started this radio station 13 years some of the resources that were available that I didn't even know about, that I want others to kind of like a do as I say, not as I've done kind of thing, because there's such an easier path. Anyway, let me say hello to Miss Kalenna.
Hi.
Now, Ayesha usually gets you to do the call-in interviews, and Ayesha's like, I'll just kind of sit back and let Kalenna because she's so good on the radio and all that. And then here's what happens. I'll ask you a question. I could walk out the room if I had to. You know so much about what you're talking about. She's so prepared every time she's on the radio with me that I feel like I could ask the question and just put my feet up and say, all right, Kalenna, take it. You got it. Next 5 minutes, all you. But let's learn a little bit about you personally now. How long have you been working with the city, and how'd you get into the OBO and all that?
Oh, gosh. I've been with the city 7 years. I think as of March, I've been with the city for 7 years. My story is a little different. I born and raised in a tiny town called Jenkinsville, South Carolina. It's about 30 plus minutes north of Columbia. Some of you know it as the home of the Hole in the Ground, where the VC Summer Unit 2 and 3 site was.
We really want it to be known for something other than the Hole in the Ground. We really do. But
that's
go
what
ahead.
We know it as.
Yes.
But I grew up, born and raised in Jenkinsville, went to school, Fairfield County School District. I graduated actually from Webster University with my bachelor's and my master's. I got in the city, I think, just on, I would say, on a whim and a prayer, I guess, which you could say. This is my first time actually working in government. I worked in other different sectors, including nuclear construction. So this is my first time being in government, but it's been a very educational experience working with Ayesha and everybody at the city. It's just been a really good learning experience for me, and I'm also a former Toastmaster, so I get to use my Toastmaster skills as well.
It shows. I'm just saying, you guys both understand the role, and we're going to get into what the OBO does now, but you also both understand the role you play within the city because you're kind of the face of the OBO, and it takes a lot of handshaking and a lot of coaxing people to understand we're here to help.
That's right.
You know, the Office of Business Opportunities, it's kind of what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. But go ahead and you tell me a little bit about what you think of when you think of OBO.
Yeah, so our focus is helping small businesses. So we support initiatives that help us to have that impact. And we do that through a variety of ways. There are three major ways. We have a commercial loan program, which is exactly like it sounds. It's a loan program.
Sure.
And then we also have supplier engagement programs where we just look at procurement opportunities that are available to our small businesses. And then we have our technical assistance and advocacy, which is Kalenna's primary role, the workshops, the trainings that we do, the different...
Incredible.
Yeah, the different outreach events that we participate in, just to make sure our community knows that we are here as a resource and we can help them navigate the process of opening their businesses or growing those businesses.
Just had a big event not that long ago. It was our 13th annual. Was it 13?
Yes, it was our 13th annual Small Business Week Conference.
Yeah, and you guys always bring in dynamic people and speakers and things like that. And the breakout sessions are always really helpful, and the opportunity for small business owners to get amongst each other and realize, wait a second, I'm going through the same thing that she's going through. Wait a second, how did you avoid this? That kind of, and that's what I'm talking about, where I wish I had known about the OBO when I first launched the radio station 13 years ago, because we all make mistakes. That's okay. It's okay. My big rule is I'm going to make mistakes. I try not to make the same mistake twice.
That's right.
And so learn from my mistakes. But what if there's an organization where you can have some people that have maybe paved the way a little bit, and you can learn from them and ask them questions to even avoid the mistake the first time? Because sometimes small businesses can't overcome their mistakes if they make them. So you guys are there to do so much when it comes to all of that. And I really, that's one of the things that I love about the OBO is again, you kind of have helped people find their own little roadmap, if you would, on how to start or how to improve what they're doing already.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the one thing that people, especially small business owners, they don't realize the one thing that they have in common is they're all in, I don't want to say necessarily say a boat, but they're all in the same position. And, you know, one of the things that I love about what we have our events is, and I tell like my next level and fast track students, I always tell them, you know, there are a lot of people in the same position that you're in right now. And when they come to Small Business Week, when they come to our workshops and they get to talking and, you know, finding out, you know, they have something in common. And then next thing you know, they're exchanging phone numbers and they're talking with each other about things that maybe we're not aware of or things that we are aware of, and we just give them that little bit of boost. So I think it works best when there's a commonality and people can, you know, get together, work together, and, you know, figure this out together, because, you know, being a small business owner is not something that you do single-handedly. It takes a community. And when the community gets together, you know, it helps us because we get to know more people, but it also helps the community as far as pushing each other and working toward being successful.
You guys are always after it. We always have events coming up. In fact, we're going to talk about that in a moment. We'll take a quick break in just a little bit, and then we have an event coming up for folks about a week from tomorrow, and we're going to give you a chance to explain what's coming up and who's going to be speaking and all that kind of stuff and how it can impact and get more people involved with it, because that's what this is all about here in the community is really trying to help the people with that entrepreneurial spirit. So hold tight. This is Colatown. We're talking with Ayesha and Kalenna. We're talking about the OBO, the Office of Business Opportunities, and we're doing so right here on The Point. Stick around. Hey, welcome back in on The Point, and welcome into Colatown, our second segment, Our City, Our Stories. We're very proud of this program here at The Point. We love it, and the way it gives us a chance to branch out and let folks know about some of the things happening right here within our community. It's so important. In the studio with us from our Office of Business Opportunities, we have Ayesha Driggers and Kalenna Ginyard, and both here to talk to us. Obviously, we learned a little bit about the OBO in the first segment, and here in the second segment, we could talk a little bit more about the OBO, but I also want to get into the big event that we're here to promote, which is Negotiating for Growth. And Kalenna, I know that you're going to help us with that. Talk a little bit about the event and what's coming up a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, so on next Tuesday, July 14th, we will have the Negotiating for Growth Contract Sales and Strategy for Small Business Owners Workshop. It'll be at the Virginia Bedford Community Center, formerly, well, most of you know it as Earlwood Park.
Sure.
And this is an opportunity for those who are looking for skills in sales negotiation, contract negotiation, and contract formation. And that's a topic that a lot of small business owners come across when promoting their business or doing business with another organization, or even coming and working with the city of Columbia. We have a lot of small business owners that, have that issue and they want to learn more about it. So we're happy to have Mr. Richard Waring. He is from the Charleston area. He's also the executive director of Freewoods Farm. And he is a subject matter expert on contract negotiation and how you help small businesses, make sure you're negotiating fairly and in a way where it's in a price that what you want. And also, it also helps with local business owners as far as learning about contract formation, because that's one other topic that a lot of small businesses are not really aware of, or they don't quite understand how it works.
And you can't gloss over that.
No, you can't.
That's something that almost all of us in small business, unless you get an opportunity like this, you don't know this kind of stuff. We all are trained to kind of stay in our lanes when it comes to things. You give me a microphone, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what I'm doing with a microphone. You tell me I got to go negotiate a contract, or I got to go negotiate this, that's out of my lane. So when I can get help from a Richard Waring, I can get help from the OBO, I can get someone that's kind of walked this path first. Are you kidding me? It's so much simpler than trying to make it up as you go along, or maybe making a mistake by somebody taking advantage of you. And there's people out there that'll do that. So that's why this events like this are so important.
It is, and it's extremely important, because especially those who are not familiar with it, because we come across businesses that will offer their services and not be aware of they have to do a contract, or they've been in business but they haven't been official. And they'll make a deal or sign a contract with simple as a handshake, but not understanding the importance of having something in writing. And so this workshop will teach participants that. And in addition to Richard Waring, we'll also have a representative from SC Apex Accelerator. And SC Apex Accelerator is an organization located in Columbia, and they assist small business owners with solicitations, procurements with the city, with the state, with federal government. Those businesses who are looking to offer their services on those levels, they provide assistance with that as well. So we'll have a representative there to talk about what SC Apex does and how small business can get involved with them.
And that's the thing. Here's again, I keep hearing what you're saying, and it just keeps lighting sparks off in my head. If you don't know about it, how can you grab it? How can you wait? This might be available for my business to make my business easier, to help me grow my business. And the reality is, when you don't know about that kind of stuff, you're missing out on opportunities, huge opportunities, growth opportunities. When you learn about this stuff, you learn it one time, and then next thing you know what to look for the next time something comes along and you're looking to grow. These are the opportunities that the OBO can present to you. And you guys do events like this throughout the year to help small businesses. And again, you're not looking to do the work for them. You're just looking to make their path a little easier.
Yeah, and Kevin, I'll add that this is free of charge. There's no cost to attend this workshop. And also Apex, their fees, they don't have any fees associated with it either.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how much is it going to cost us business owners to get these tips. And a lot of the things that you do during the year are workshops. And while it still is something where the city's putting something into it, you're trying to make it as easy as you can for the small business owners.
Yeah, so we cover the cost associated with these workshops because we think they're so vital to the success of our small business community.
So Mr. Waring will be in, and this will be just for folks, again, I want to make sure that they know all about the specifics. This is going to be, again, next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, right?
Yes.
That's 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's, again, 1113 Recreation Drive, which is the Virginia Bedford Community Center. And this is an opportunity. Now, do people need to make reservations in advance, or how do you want them to do this?
Well, they can do two ways. First, they can go on Eventbrite, and they can go to the link on Eventbrite. I think it's OBO Negotiating for Growth link at OBO Negotiating for Growth.eventbrite.com. Or they can go on our website, which is obo.columbiasc.gov, and on that sliding menu at the top of the page, we do have that link to go to that webpage.
I always tell people just to go to your website because it's right there and it always pops up. And I feel like whenever we're talking on the radio, people are driving to work.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to give them all these 12 different websites. So I always just remind them to go to the OBO website. And then, of course, I give Kalenna's cell phone out to everybody. So
Well, Kalenna's the webmaster of our website. So if you like the website, we can thank Kalenna for that.
I've never given out your cell phone. Don't worry. I've never done that. Okay. But I'm just teasing you. But no, but it's important. Again, I don't want, if you are driving right now, and a lot of folks that listen to radio are commuting, you can always reach out to me. I've got the actual flyer here with all the information if you need that about Richard Waring coming and about the event. And I have all that, and I save all that. And I mentioned it a few times during the week leading up to Tuesday of next week. So I'll make sure I keep mentioning it. But I just want to make sure that, again, if you are able to, remember the website always, because it's just a good website to check throughout the year is the OBO website. What are some of the other things, Kalenna, that people will find on the website?
They will also find information on our 3 different areas of OBO that Ayesha talked about earlier, all the different events that we have going on. And also on our events page, we have events for not just with our office, but with our community partners, such as U.S. Small Business Administration, Richland County Office of Small Business Opportunity, South Carolina Small Business Development Center, and others. So if you hear about it, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be on our website. And I also want to encourage people to sign up for our newsletter as well. So if you go on our website, on the right side, you see a button that says newsletter. Click on that, enter in your information. The most important thing you're going to need is your email address, and you will receive the next issue. It comes out on every Monday unless the city is closed, but it comes out every Monday. So just make sure, if you haven't signed up for it yet, make sure you go on obo.columbiasc.gov and click on the newsletter to sign up.
Yeah, that's another thing that's just a tool, and again, as a small business owner myself, I just think about the things that we can use together to grow. And you don't have to be reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? As a small business owner, I'm not saying that you don't have to be innovative, because you do. I'm not saying you don't have to be creative, because you have to be creative, and all of those different things go into it. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If there's somebody that's got an idea or somebody that's done this already, I ain't too proud to beg. I'm not too proud to ask for help, and I'm not too proud to say this is a little bit out of my lane, a little bit out of my wheelhouse. How about, how would you do this? That kind of thing. And that's what a lot of these events are geared toward, is again, finding common ground with other small business owners.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let me go back to the OBO as a whole. How long has the OBO been around here in Columbia? Do you know? I mean, is it
probably over maybe 25 years, I imagine, in some form? I mean, the name may have changed over the years, but the city is such a strong advocate for our small business community. So we just find ways to share those resources with the city.
Yeah, and the reason I ask you that is because I want people that are listening to understand that everybody that's listening either lives in the city, works in the city, or plays in the city.
Right.
And I mean, you might be listening right now in Lexington, but that doesn't mean you don't come down to see a concert or to see a Carolina game or something. So you play in the city. Or maybe you work in the city and then you go back and you live in Camden, or you live in Irmo, or you live somewhere else. That's fine. But we all have a vested interest in what's going on here. And that's the thing is, I obviously, my business is right here in the heart off of Millwood Avenue. This is where I do my business. So I'm a Columbia business owner. And I think it's vital that people understand the resources that are made available to us. Yeah. And if you don't use them, then shame on you.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because sometimes people think, well, I don't have any work that I could do with the city or government, but I just encourage any small business in the city to reach out to our office, because maybe we can just help you where you are. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I'm sure we can provide resources to you.
Right. And you kind of stole exactly where I was going to lead you, because what I was going to say is this specific event, okay, maybe you don't have any contracts you need to negotiate or something. But if you get in touch and you get to know the folks over at the OBO, there's going to come a time where something's going to come up that you're really not sure of. And if nothing else, you're a great tool for resources. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, you know what? We do have somebody that might be able to help you with that question. Mm-hmm. Let me give you his or her phone number. Let me give you his or her email, whatever. But I mean, you're not in it alone, is what I'm saying to Ma and Pa business owner. We're not in this thing alone. We've got resources available to us within the OBO and within the city of Columbia, and they want to help. They want to help. So I just that's kind of what I wanted to get across. Yes, it's very important to talk about next Tuesday's event, and that's why you guys are here specifically. But I really wanted to just remind folks about the tools that you guys have in your tool chest, and you're there to help. So we could kind of tackle it from that perspective. All right, one more time for you, if you don't mind. Give us all the specifics about next Tuesday. Okay,
so again, the name of the workshop is called Negotiating for Growth, Contract Sales and Strategy for Small Business Owners. It'll be on Tuesday, July 14th at 10 a.m. at the Virginia Bedford Community Center. That's on 1113 Recreation Drive in Columbia, with Mr. Richard Waring as the featured speaker. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call us at the office at 803-545-3950. You can ask to speak to me. My name is Kalenna Ginyard, or you can email us, obo@columbiasc.gov, or you can go to our website, obo.columbiasc.gov, and check out more about this workshop and any future events coming up from our office and our resource partners.
I told you. She comes ready. That's right. She's got a game on. You guys are great. I really do appreciate you coming in, both of you, and thank you for what you do with the OBO and helping small business owners. As one myself, I really I appreciate that you're there to help.
And Kevin, thank you so much for your continued support of our office and our city.
Privilege. Thank you guys for coming on in. All right, well, that's what we're doing there. Again, big event for next Tuesday. We'll take a time out. We'll get you bottom of the hour headlines, and when we come back, we will visit with our good friends Justin and Maddie. They're going to be hanging out with us. We've got to talk about a couple of different things coming up, including the mayor's campaign against domestic violence and the big walk for that. We'll tell you more about that as we continue Colatown.